I now give the floor to the representative of Ghana to introduce the minister's statement.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I have the honor and pleasure to introduce the pre-recorded statement delivered by Honorable Shirley Botchwey, Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you.
The President of the 75th Session of the UN General Assembly, Secretary General of the United Nations, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I wish to congratulate the President of the 75th Session of the United Nations General Assembly for convening this important meeting on the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. At this stage in its history, our United Nations deserves to be celebrated for the phenomenal work it does to preserve and protect our common humanity. We are, however, minded by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has shaken our world and altered our way of life. That notwithstanding, multilateralism, underpinned by international cooperation, will enable us to address the challenges posed by the pandemic, including the disruptions to our economies, global trade, and travel. Excellencies, in support of multilateralism, Ghana proudly joined Indonesia, Liechtenstein, Singapore, Switzerland, and Norway to draft a resolution on the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Ghana's role in the issuance of the first draft resolution on the pandemic signaled our commitment to global efforts to address the pandemic at the very early stage. In furtherance of a global commitment, Ghana also accepted to host the UN Regional Humanitarian Hub for COVID-19. This facility enables the World Health Organization and the World Food Programme to undertake medical evacuation services and aviation operations in support of the United Nations global humanitarian response to the COVID-19 pandemic in West and Central Africa. Mr. President, to contain and control the spread of the virus, Ghana has put in place policies and procedures with 6 key strategic objectives. These objectives include limiting and halting the importation of the virus, containing the national spread, providing adequate care for the sick, strengthening governance, coordination, and accountability of COVID-19 response, limiting the impact of the virus on social and economic life, and increasing the expansion of domestic capability and deepening national self-reliance. Between March and November 2020, Ghana has had a total of 51,667 confirmed positive cases of the COVID-19 out of 592,285 tests conducted. A total of 50,547 persons have recovered, with case fatality at 323. The country's active cases is currently estimated at 797. We are determined to ensure that we achieve a zero case count. Mr. President, on the socio-economic front, a number of measures have been put in place to provide relief to Ghanaians and businesses. Since April 2020, the government has made provision for free access to water for all households across the country until end of December 2020. Electricity bills for about 1 million active Lifeline customers and 50% of electricity bills for all residents have been fully absorbed for the same period. Government has also provided financial incentives to motivate all frontline health workers. The government of Ghana has further established a coronavirus alleviation and revitalization of enterprises support. We call it the CARES program, to help with the recovery of businesses so as not to derail the efforts we have made to attain the Sustainable Development Goals. At the regional level, an extraordinary virtual summit of ECOWAS heads of state and government held in April 2020 adopted a coordinated response strategy under the aegis of the West African Health Organization, WAHO. ECOWAS welcomes efforts by the G20 countries in providing debt service relief to the poorest countries, including some ECOWAS member states. Mr. President, let me use this platform and this meeting to urge the international financial and development institutions to support the interventions of government in addressing the negative economic impact of the pandemic. The recovery will obviously be long-term and will require concessional financing and appropriate credit facilities to enable most of our countries emerge out of this global health crisis in a strong and stable state. This special session is being held on the back of positive news regarding the development of effective vaccines to curb further infections. While the world remains optimistic of the efficacy of the vaccines, we must ensure equitable access to the vaccines, particularly for developing countries. Mr. President, as I conclude this statement, let me assure the global community that Ghana's presidential and parliamentary elections, which are slated for the 7th December, will be conducted in a transparent, fair, and peaceful manner. The world will once again be proud of the Ghanaian people. I thank you for your kind attention.